Right, welcome everyone back to episode 5.5 of the N.E.S.T podcast. I hope you've had a incredible New Year and New Year's Eve. Hope it was filled with joy. I hope you spent it around some form of family. Unfortunately, due to the current circumstances, I'm sure that a lot of you were limited to your household, so that would have been interesting. Now, there's two parts to this episode. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, we've got part number one, which will simply just be a little recap over what has happened over 2020 and why I'm sure it'll be a year to remember and a year for the books, especially those fucking history books that year 11s will be studying over the next 20 years, and they'll be laughing, thinking how the hell did we manage. But what has last year, should I say, shown us? Number one, family. As most of you in the UK will know, and worldwide, there was a massive period of lockdowns across every single country. And in the UK, we continue to go through one as we speak now. So that's amazing and great and incredible. However, I think those lockdowns, as I said, they've shown a lot of things. They show how some people who were living with each other before, how it actually brought them closer together. Others, it brought them further apart. It made or break some relationships, and it also created new ones, which is always a plus. But second bit, this year has actually shown us the fact that people take a lot of things for granted. And when I say this, I mean things like toilet roll, hand sanitizer, people who work at Tesco's, and I know that this has been a massive theme over the year. Key workers, and these are terms that we've only recently really engaged with and spoke about. Key workers, sanitization, I don't know, social distancing, things like that. These terms were not around 2019. They weren't. You would never think to stay 2 meters apart, 6 feet away from someone else, just because they might give you a cold or a virus or anything. So I think it's been a very interesting year, and I think it'll definitely be one to look back on, and it'll be something that you and I, when we get older and have grandchildren or children or whatever, you'll be telling stories about it, and I'm sure at that point we'll be laughing back, thinking, what the hell was that insanity that we were going through in 2020. However, the second part of this podcast will be more on for you New Year's resolutioners who want to do something with 2021, hopefully start off a little bit more on a right foot. And I'll be giving you guys a few tips from not just a guy recording a podcast, but a personal trainer who's been in the industry now for the last few years and has seen people kind of try and pick up, then drop off, pick up and drop off, pick up and drop off. And I want to help you guys stay on the, not drop off the wagon. Don't hop off and get back on at the next station, hop off and then, don't stay on it. So this second bit of the podcast will mainly just be about, about you guys and me kind of giving what I believe are the best kind of tips as such, as to not to help you to not fall off that wagon, basically. I did only just wake up about over an hour ago, so I'm still very tired. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So, as I said, the number one thing that I tend to see people do in the gym, with fitness, with anything, is, that whole New Year's resolution, it's more of a January thing, maybe a second week in February thing, and then it just turns into I'll just do it 2022 again. And I think that a lot of people tend to set themselves a goal that is ridiculously high. And when I say ridiculously high, I don't mean I want to run 5k in 4 weeks. I mean, like, I want to run 5k in, like, let's do it in 2 weeks. And it's like, no, you won't turn from couch potato to a marathon runner in like 5 weeks. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen ever. So you don't really want to set yourself up too high. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Yep, there's a saying that says, like, aim for the moon, and if you fail, you'll still be among the stars. But I don't want to say that's bullshit, but it kind of is bullshit. If you aim way too high, especially with things that you give yourself a time frame for, you'll only demotivate yourself, and it'll only cause you to crash a lot harder. So what I always recommend is, and this is something that as a PT you're taught from the get-go, is to set SMART goals. Okay, and SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So let's take it from the top. So you got specific. Let's say you want to be a better runner. Okay, well, how much better do you want to run? Do you want to do a mile? Do you want to do 2 miles? Do you want to do 10? Do you want to do 20? Do you want to do an ultra marathon? What is it that you're trying to achieve here? Be specific. Say, okay, well, I want to be able to run 36 miles, example, and keep a constant pace. All right, cool, amazing. You've set a specific goal. Now, measurable. Is it measurable? Yes, you can measure it. You can time how long it takes you to run those 36 miles. And I'm using 36 as a little example here. I'm not ever in my life going to run 6, let alone 26. So, third one, attainable. Now, this is where with 36 miles, if you're a couch potato, this is where it gets a little bit sketchy, all right? Is it attainable within the time-based period? And the answer to that will probably depends on your time base. If you say you want to run 36 miles, as I said, in like a month, 2 months, 3 months, probably not. But if you say, okay, I want to be able to run 36 miles over the course of a year, or 2 years, or 3 years, you know what? I reckon you're probably good. Maybe not easily in a year, but I reckon it's mildly doable. Now, the second to last, which I kind of skipped over as I went on to time-based, is relevant. I want it to be relevant to what you want to do. If you want to, I don't know, let's say be a power lifter, but then you put yourself up to run, like that's not relevant at all. That's completely stupid. Like, why would you be doing this? You're actually setting yourself up for failure. So keep it relevant to what you want to do. If you want to get fitter, I'll fully recommend running, cycling, swimming, climbing, anything like that that uses your aerobic system, and an aerobic, of course. However, if you're more specific to, powerlifting, you want to get a stronger lift, then I would completely disregard aerobic training, because you don't need it. You're not going to be doing anything longer than 20 seconds if you're a powerlifter. You might not even be doing anything above 5 or 10, to be quite frank with you. So keep those goals kind of attainable, keep them smart, and for the love of Christ, don't go, and I'll come on to this point later on, but please do not go up to a personal trainer and say, I want to achieve this body fat percentage, I want to lose X amount of pounds, and I want to do it in 4 weeks. Because guess what, sweetheart, that's not going to happen. And sorry to shit on your parade, however, your parade has now officially been shat on. Now, second reason, and this is actually, I looked at this in sports psychology last term, and I was really interested, but not at all surprised in what happened. So we looked at intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Christ alive. Now, intrinsic simply means that you've got a reason, that it's because something you want. Okay, it's let's say intrinsic would be, I want to better myself, I want to compete with my previous self, I want to beat a previous personal best, I want to do this, I want to do that because I want to. Extrinsic would be like, I want to do this because I would get money from it, or I'd get a sponsorship from it, or I'd get clout from it, or whatever, right? Or I would, let's say for example, why most teenage guys go to the gym, because they'll get girls from it. That is extrinsic, and as soon as people see that extrinsic factor start playing in and they start getting some of it, they won't like continue to go on. So as soon as you kind of get that reward that you were looking for, you kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit, which is understandable, but it's not sustainable. So if you are going to do something in this new year, make sure you do it because you want to do it, not because you want other people to see you doing it, not because you want to get, whatever from it, not because you want to look good to others. You want to look good for yourself, okay? And always set yourself a next goal. Okay, set small goals. Like if as I said, if you are a couch potato, if you haven't, if whatever you do after work is you come back, make food, sit down, watch Netflix, then maybe your first goal should be something like get a yearly membership at a gym, or it should be like get my ass out of the house for half an hour 5 times a week. Something small like that, and then just take it day by day. Just say, tomorrow the goal is do this. And also something I always recommend people to do is I always say, write a to-do list for your day and then tick them off as you go. Because, and you'll probably know this if you've ever been shopping or something like that, and you find that I forgot to write down something that I need, but I've already got it in my car. You tend to write it on your shopping list and then tick it off. The reason why you do this is because as soon as you've achieved something, your body almost gets like a little hit of dopamine, and it's like, oh, cool, I've done this now, I feel good. Right, we've checked that off. So the second that you do that, and the second you create a to-do list, your body will associate ticking off that to-do list with, feeling a little bit more accomplished for that day. So write a to-do list, get yourself out of the house for half an hour. If it is just like, having a walk, having a stroll, go out with your missus, go out with your kids, whatever. Even if it is just for 10, 15 minutes, half hour, and then start off that, tick it off, and do it every day. And again, before you go to bed, say, right, tomorrow I've got to go to work, I've got to go to the supermarket, get these things, then I'm going to come back, I'm going to go for a half-hour walk, and genuinely factor it into your day. Don't just say, I'll go for that half-hour walk whenever, because guess what? That whenever is not going to work, because you're going to be like, oh, you know what? I need to go to the supermarket and I'll do it later. I got home now, I need to cook, I'll do it later. I'll do this, I'll do it later. And eventually you'll get to like 8 p.m. and you'll be like, I just want to sit down and watch Netflix and not do anything. Genuinely factor it into your day. Like what I tend to do is, what I used to do before I got into a massive routine is I used to set like a little bit on my phone where it would say gym, and that is the hour every single day that I would go to the gym. Now bearing in mind, this is before I kind of had uni work and stuff like that would genuinely stop me from going at a certain point in the day. However, I got to that habit of going every single day, which then from there you can always just scrap that little to-do list. Then you can be like, all right, well, I've gotten used to it now, I'll just go every day. It's easy, it's like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, whatever. So yeah, but always have that next goal. So let's say you've achieved five days a week. Now go for a month. Now go for 2 months, 3 months, a year. Say that you're only gonna take days off when you've got holiday or something. Set yourself a decent plan, or find a decent plan. Which, by the way, if any of you do want a plan, then I've got a few. There's a link in my Instagram bio. Which, if you don't follow me on Instagram, what the hell are you doing with your life? At @AlexSummerGenos, feel free. So I do have a few gym programs up there. They are completely free. So by the way, I'm not like saying pay me money. I'm just saying that if you do need some help, I do have some free shit up for you to try out and have a look. So that's just for a little bit of structure, because I just tend to find that having structure with anything like working out, your day, literally anything, will do you some help, and it will kind of allow you to feel a little bit more organized and actually get things done. I don't know if that's just me, but I just prefer to have a little bit of structure going on in my day. Now, next up is you need someone, because when you first start off, you're not going to be accountable. all right, you will be able to slack off. You will be able to turn around and be like, you know what, I don't feel like it today. And no one will tell you otherwise. No one will tell you otherwise because no one else knows about it. So this is where you need like something. Okay, you need something. If you've got a large following on something like social media, put up the fact that you have been starting going to the gym or doing this or doing that. And then you will be pretty much nearly forced to carry that on, because otherwise people will know that you've dropped off. Or another example, get a training buddy. Get a buddy to do whatever you're doing with you. You want to go to the gym, get a training pal. You want to quit smoking, find someone else that wants to quit smoking, and like almost create a little support bubble. You want to eat healthier, then find someone else who wants to eat healthier. You know, it will help you out a lot, and it will create like as unfortunately as we've all heard this term, it will create a support bubble. So like, you know, find someone else who wants to do the exact same thing as you do, and keep each other accountable. And I don't just mean like, you know, check in with each other once a week. Like, no, turn around and be like, how's your day been? It's been all right. What have you, like, you know, have you had any shit to eat? Have you had have you had a smoke? Have you been to the gym? Have you done this? Have you done that? And if they say, you know, I kind of had a McDonald's for lunch because I couldn't really be bothered to eat anything, keep them in check. Turn around to them and be like, all right, you've done it today. That's your time for the week. Like, that's it. You can't slip up again. And almost like set yourself almost like a forfeit, a fun forfeit. Don't set yourself a bad forfeit, because that then ties into negative relationship with food and whatever, and you don't want that. Set yourself a fun forfeit, right? It's like, loser has to do, I don't know, like 10 push-ups, or next time I see you, you need to, like, I don't know, whatever, buy me the first round or something, I don't know. So it'll be a forfeit that they have to do, and that will kind of, it will be considered as a forfeit, but it won't be a negative one, because the second you start like associating food with a negative emotion, like that's a whole slippery slope to like bulimia and anorexia and all that kind of shit. So yeah, don't do that. Bad humans. Don't do that. You can also use things such as like MyFitnessPal. Those who do not know what that is, it's an app that basically helps you keep track of your food. It's very easy to use, it's free, and I'm not going to lie to you, I use it with every single one of my clients, and it tends to work pretty well because I can see what they're eating, and if I see something that, you know, they've gone way over their calories, or they have had like a fat off pizza, then I pull them up on it and I say, look, hey, ¿qué pasa? You know, what are you doing? What's going on? Like, sort it out. Of course, I'm not that much of a dick with them, but I will pull them up on it. I'll be like, hey, you know, come on, mate, sort it out. But yeah, so, you know, keep each other accountable, keep each other like motivated, and that's very important. Also, you can join like groups of people. Like, if you don't want to start running on your own, there's a lot of, I'm sure in your guys' areas as well, there'll be lots of local provision for things like, you know, cross-country running. Like over here we've got the Stubbington Green Runners, we've got the Salisbury Green Runners, we've got like Holly Hill Running Club, stuff like that. So there's plenty of provision in terms of group activity. And you know, if you want to get into cardio but you don't like running, you can also just like join a little football team. If you're into football, if not, you can join whatever team you enjoy doing. Even squash, for God's sake. Like, there's plenty of places around here to play squash, and I'm in the middle of bloody nowhere. Not really middle of nowhere, but I'm at the bottom of middle of nowhere, kind of, nearly. I'm outside the middle of nowhere, so I'm in the middle of somewhere but nowhere. So, you know, there will be some form of local provision for any sports that you want to do. If you are actually in the middle of nowhere, such as Land's End, which is in the end of nowhere, and you don't have anywhere to go, that was a mindfuck of a sentence, but hey-ho, then, you know, find yourself a friend and start running away from each other, if you really hate them that much. But with with that being said, this is a very short podcast, because it's New Year's Eve at the time that I'm recording this, so I'm recording this for the future. Hashtag time travel. But as I said, I hope you guys had an incredible New Year's Eve and an incredible New Year's party, if you did have one. And hopefully 2021 will treat us a little bit nicer. It won't do us as dirty as 2020 did, because 2020 really messed up my holiday plans, and I really hate it for it. So I'm sure it actually messed up a lot. It messed up a lot of people's holidays plans, actually. I was speaking to a few people, and everyone wanted to go Bali, Thailand. Some others were meant to go in the US, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it really fucked you over, didn't it? But hey, it is what it is. We take it as it comes. 2021 hopefully will be a bit of a nicer year, touch wood. And yeah, but as I said, start of this podcast, this has been a very interesting year. We've had ups, we've had downs, but I think as a whole, we've come out of it a little bit more mindful of things. And I know a few people with this have really not come out. They've actually shown how much of a fucking peanut they have for a brain. It's not even a nice dry roasted one, it's just a shitty normal salted one. It's terrible. But people have shown that some people in this world are selfish. Other people have shown that they do care, and they will keep kind of going until everyone is safe. And we've all, I think as a whole, we've kind of come together over this, and it's been a very interesting year. But I'm sure we'll pull through it, and I'm sure that 2021 will be better. And I hope that every one of you guys has an incredible year. Hopefully this will be the year that 2020 wasn't. But having said that, thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed. I know it's been a really short one. That's what she said. I know it's been a really short one, but enjoy your 2021. Enjoy your time with your family. And, as I said at the start of this episode, never take things for granted. And I know that sounds very cheesy, but, this year, if there's anything in 2020 shows, is the fact that family will not, should I say, always be there. A lot of people have lost loved ones, and I think we need to hold everyone as tight as we can every once in a while. Give them a I love you, and mean it. So, having said that, have a good 2021. Cheers, and here's to many more episodes of me rambling on to absolute shit, and hopefully making people laugh while educating them. Thank you guys for listening. Enjoy your year, enjoy your day, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you Wednesday again at 4:00 for another episode of the N.E.S.T podcast. This time it'll be episode 6, not 5.5. Have a good rest of your day.